it's Pomelo. So in this video, I want to talk about a not so fun story time actually about the first few weeks that I came to Japan because so much went wrong. So I felt like it really deserves its own video because it's just so much. And honestly, when all of this happened, I just wanted to go home. It was like the first week, but I was already like, you know what, I just gotta go home. I don't want to do this anymore. But I held on. Obviously, I'm still here. So let's begin. So actually this kind of started before I even arrived in Japan. I was so nervous and I kept doubting every single thing. I kept thinking like, should I cancel everything? Should I just stay home? Because I was so nervous. But that's just very normal. That's not that crazy. So anyway, at my transfer, which was in Taiwan, I thought, oh my god, I'm in Taiwan. Let me try some Taiwanese milk tea. So I opened my wallet and I see I didn't bring my credit card. How do you forget? I felt like my whole world crashing down because I don't have any other forms of payment. I have a Dutch debit card, but it doesn't work everywhere, you know? So I need my credit card. So that was a big moment of panic and I felt like so stupid. I kept saying, I'm so stupid. So that was so stupid. Anyway, I was very fortunate to be able to link my credit card onto my phone online through the app. So but then it still didn't work, so I had to do like a workaround, and anyway, it works now. For the first few days, actually first few weeks, I wasn't really able to pay many things because a lot of places needed cash, but I couldn't take out any cash because I didn't have a credit card or any kind of card to take out of the ATM. So I had to wait until I got my Japanese bank account, but before that I actually texted my mom and she was able to mail my credit card. So that worked out in the end, fortunately. But the first few days I felt so miserable. I felt so stupid. I just cried a lot, honestly. A lot of people think that when I arrived here that I was living a dream, everything was going so smoothly, but honestly I felt so miserable. Anyway, I was actually supposed to pick up my house key on the day that I arrived, but the airport was so confusing because we needed a transport card, you know, like a Pasmo, Suica, stuff like that, and we just could not find it. But before that I couldn't even find where I had to pick up my SIM card, which was like the number one thing that I needed. So we went like up and down like 100 times, everywhere 100 times, and we spent so much time looking for where I need to pick up my SIM card and the transportation card that I was too late to pick up my keys, and I was really panicking. I emailed them like, I'm so sorry, I couldn't make it, couldn't pick it up tomorrow, because in the email they said like, if you're not on time then we cannot help you further or something like that. So I was like, what am I gonna do now? Am I like without a house now? So yeah, that went wrong. Fortunately the next day they told me that I could go the next day. I got to pick up my key, obviously, because I'm in my apartment. Like, so many things went wrong already and it's only day one. I want to go home. It was just too overwhelming for me. But this wasn't even everything. And then I forgot one of my headbands, like one of these, on the train. Like I took it off because it was hurting, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it on when I get off. I didn't put it on, and then I forgot it at the train. Anyway, after all of that, when it was finally time to go to my apartment, we got there and the key didn't fit into the door, in the keyhole. And I just tried everything. I tried it like 100 times. I was like, what's going on? Like, this is the address on the website. I don't understand. I genuinely felt like pure despair, because it was like, what am I gonna do? Because the company told me that, like, yeah, after these times you cannot reach us anymore. And for key problems you just need to like email or something like that. Like, it was really confusing, and basically I was at a loss. I couldn't do anything, and the road to that apartment was to climb so many stairs with these huge ass suitcases, so that was so tiring. And then after all of that I realized that the address on the website of the apartment and the address in the email that I received after I got the apartment were different. So I was at the wrong apartment. So then we had to go all the way down off those stairs again with the suitcases, dying. And then we finally found the apartment. Thank God. And the same day that I arrived here, I actually wanted to go to a fashion brand pop-up. As I wanted to go specifically that day because that was the last day that my friend was working there. And I barely made it because we spent so much time getting lost at the wrong address. So then we almost arrived too late. We went like 1 hour before it closed, but fortunately I did get to see my friend. But my makeup was like, whoa, and I was tired, and it was raining, it was windy, it was horrible. Oh, and on top of that, I got my period that time, and I leaked through. I had I had a huge stain, kind of TMI, but just to add to the despair. So just when I thought that everything was going well, I was in my apartment, just doing well, discovering the city. My phone broke. It fell like so stupidly. It wasn't even like just a broken screen, like you can always replace the screen. No, this was broken internally, the internal screen, and it was getting worse every single day. Honestly, this was the worst part aside from forgetting my credit card. Yeah, so I went to the phone store, and every single store told me that they were not able to fix it. They were not allowed to fix it because it's a foreign model. Also, Japan thrives on iPhone. It was so hard to find a store that actually does something with Samsung, that actually repairs it and sells it. So like every single store was specialized in iPhone. So this phone store, the next best thing that they could do for me was to give like a refurbished replacement. And I was just thinking like, well, yeah, if there is nothing else to do, then let me just do that. It's better than buying a whole new phone, you know? Big mistake. I got the refurbished phone. I was so happy. I was like thanking them so much. I even checked it in the store. I have a flip phone that goes like this. So I checked like everything. I was like, oh yeah, everything works, camera works, and all that kind of things. But then on the way home, I wanted to take an outfit picture. And then when I flipped it while using the camera, the screen flickered. Like it turned black. And the same with like this screen just turned black. And the screen here, it looks like this. Like the screen here, like this, it turned black when I turned on the camera. It just kept flickering on and off, and this screen just like that. It was unusable. So then the next day I went back to the store, and they told me that they could not do anything about it because they could not prove that I did it or that it was their mistake of giving a faulty product. So I was not able to get a refund. But they were friendly enough to at least check the phone free of charge. Like they like took it apart all the way. They were like, and then 3 hours later I came back and they were like, yeah, we cannot do anything about it. We have no idea why it's like that. So now I was stuck with 2 broken phones. Amazing. Love my life. But when they gave it back to me, they were like, which phone do you want the data on to then use? So I just said, well, let's just do the old phone, I guess, because that was like my trusty phone, even though it was half broken. So then they gave it back to me, and like a few days later, I decided I was just really insecure and unsure about all of this. So it may sound really stupid, but after a while, I decided, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna try to see if the Samsung store, the Galaxy store, which there is only one of, by the way, in Tokyo, because everybody uses iPhone. I thought, let me just go to that store and then ask them to fix the refurbished phone. Maybe they know more. So then I went there, and they immediately said, oh, it's like a hinge problem. It's a problem in the hinge. We just need to replace it for 200 euros. So I was like, okay. And then I made an appointment. And then at home, I thought, let me at least, because my phone is about to die. It's generally about to die. Let me already transfer my data on the new phone, on the refurbished phone. And when I tried to do that, I realized it didn't have enough space. My phone, my original phone, had like 500 something gigabytes. This one had 200 something. So I wasn't even able to transfer my data on this new phone. So I had to cancel my appointment because I was gonna lose so much data. I was gonna lose all my I either had to like delete most of my photos and videos or most of my apps to be able to use the new phone. And I just felt like for all of that money, I don't want to do that. So at the store, I also asked if they were able to fix my other phone, my original phone, and they said no. They're just not allowed because it's a foreign phone, once again. So then I decided to just buy a brand new phone from the Samsung store, and it was expensive, of course, because it's a brand new phone. And obviously I could have bought a cheap phone. I could have bought any kind of phone that was just cheaper, you know, more affordable, but with a lot of space. But I'm just so attached to this flip phone. It's just really convenient for me. I just really like it, so I just got the new I just got a new one, which is this one. I'm really happy with the phone, but I'm unhappy with what happened and why I had to actually get it. Like, it flickers because of the camera frame rate, so that's normal. But this is what's broken. Sometimes, even when it's closed. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Anyway, that happens every now and then. So yeah, that's why I had to get a new phone, because as it got worse, I realized it's dying, and after a while I'm not able to use the bottom part of it, and then I just cannot use it. So yeah, that was the phone story. Very unfortunate, but it worked out in the end. Oh no, it didn't, because the phone case in the Samsung store was just really expensive for what it was. It was just a clear case, but it was quite expensive. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna order a cheap case that I also like and I'm gonna use for a long time, so let me just do that. So I ordered it just fine, but then I remembered and realized, like, wait, I'm gonna be in Osaka next week, and that's when the phone case arrives. So that whole week I had to be super extra careful of my phone that doesn't have a case. I was like holding it like so strong, like with all of my power, so that it doesn't fall, and everything was going great until I dropped it on the very last day in Osaka. It works. Everything works. Nothing is broken. You don't really see it on camera, but it does have a few chipped away areas, and I was so upset. I was like everything just kept stacking up. I was so frustrated. Anyway, I got my case the next day at home. Oh, and kind of a side story, but also in the train, when I was hanging out with my friend, there were two Japanese girls next to us, and usually when someone, like, you're sitting next to each other with a stranger, usually when they go to the next seat, it's not necessarily because you're a foreigner, but mostly just because they just want extra space. So I never got offended by that. It's always normal, except for this time. Two girls next to me, after somebody got up, they went to the next seat, and normally I wouldn't think of anything of it, but there was already sitting someone next to them, a stranger. So I was like, why are they going to the next seat? It's not like they're getting more space, because they're just moving to sitting next to someone else that they don't know. And that's when my friend realized that they were actually kind of like talking about us, and they were like laughing at us, and they just really ruined my day, and it really stuck with me, and it kind of made me self-conscious of how people sort of perceive me, I guess, in the train, like, oh, a foreigner. I don't know. I sometimes I just feel like I'm invading space in the train, and just stand out a lot because I'm a foreigner, and the pink hair, of course, and my fashion doesn't really help with that. I'm doing a lot better with that, but I cannot forget about that moment, so that's kind of a thing. Oh, also, when I was attempting to do the data transfer from my old phone to my refurbished new phone, I realized that I didn't have any internet left. I didn't have any 4G data. I didn't have any data left, because apparently the phone store used it all up. Most likely without even realizing it. Maybe my phone was automatically turned on with the data. So then I didn't have any internet for like a week and a half or something. So that was great. So fortunately, everything did work out in the end, but because of all this for quite some time, I actually felt like, was it the right move to live here? Did I do the right thing? Because it's like the universe is telling me, go back home, don't stay here. It was like the world was bullying me or something. Like, everything was going wrong, and I really wanted to go home. I was super homesick and just crying a lot every day. But now everything is okay. I made some friends, and I'm a lot more settled in, so that's great. So yeah, that's the end of my story time and this video. If you have any more questions or whatever you want to say, let me know in the comments below, and then I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Yeah.